The Project, an opportunity for 10 lucky young entrepreneurs to put on their own festival at one of London's most prestigious venues, the Royal Opera House. With the lineup still to be secured and the concept up in the air, even the name has been a point of division. Have this 10 bitten off more than they can chew? The V Festival, one of the UK's largest music events with huge acts playing to crowds of thousands. These lucky 10 pioneers have been invited onto site to work with and learn from some of the industry's best, gaining first-hand experience that they'll take away to use for their own event in just a few weeks' time. Let's hope they're not too scared of getting their hands dirty. Before the festival begins, the 10 arrive on site and set up their glamorous sleeping arrangements.
I feel like I'm in the wilderness right now, to be honest.
The lovely pop-up tent. Inside you have a mattress, and that's probably all you're going to have inside for the whole weekend, because nothing else fits in there.
Once they're set, they're given a tour of the slightly higher spec Louder Lounge campsite.
When you see these trailers, you realise that this is the way to do a festival. Behind you on the steps is the master bedroom. And here we got 4 bunks, another TV. The next level, if you're talking about levels of luxury at a festival in terms of camping, are these guys. Walk in, have a look. These guys are taking up the hotel bedroom kind of concept to a festival. And that's a proper bed. This is the way to do it. You know, it's a really nice thing to stay in.
The next day, crowds have started arriving on site, and for the final 10, the hard work begins. Sarah and Kelly are given the task of decorating the Virgin Media bus.
We love heavy lifting.
You love heavy lifting? Brilliant, that's the best time for it.
Whilst Darnell is showing firsthand what it's like to look after artists on site.
Today we're just going to be sort of getting everything set up. I mean, with a festival this complicated, preparation is everything. You've got to think about all of the artists' needs. They're going to need to eat and drink, they're going to need to be able to find the loos, they're going to be able to have to find their stage and stuff like that. So we're just going to go and grab the van, grab a few bits and pieces and start setting some stuff up, I think. Okay. So this is stage 3, preparation area. You'll have one band that's on stage, and then what you'll have is you'll have half of this area for the next band on, and then even before that, the next band after them, so you've actually got 3 bands on stage at any one point, is here. So what happens is when one band finishes, the crew go on, disconnect them, wheel them off down there, and literally it's like a merry-go-round. So the next band goes round and follows on. What we do backstage is looking after that sort of thing, so that the audience out there have a great time and are completely unaware that that's what's happening.
Later in the day, partnership manager Josh and PR manager Cyril meet with Robert Gutterman, the managing director of Big Fish Events, the company behind V Festival's music partnerships.
Our job is to go and find the partners. And we kind of like, people talk about sponsorship, but I tend to talk about it as partners because we like to work with the brands that we're there. We don't let anybody come on site unless we think they're adding some level of value. And that's, I think, the key thing for the event that makes the event successful. Most of the work we do is during the week and the build-up. And hopefully, if everything's gone well, then actually when it comes to the weekend, our job then is just about making sure that everything's all right. If all the planning's gone well, then actually, if we have to do stuff, it's going wrong.
The guys are then swept off in style to get a sneak peek of Southern Comfort's Juke Bar.
We can put adverts on TV and things like that, but that doesn't necessarily give them a feeling for what the brand stands for.
Yeah.
And this is meant to give them a feeling for this is what we stand for, this is the kind of thing we are.
That evening, most of the festival goers have arrived and the 10 head out into the now bustling festival site. The next day, while the festival is in full flow, Josh talks with Virgin Media CMO Nigel Gilbert about the festival as a whole.
It's incredibly important for Virgin because Virgin's got music in its DNA.
Yeah.
And it's incredibly important. It's the biggest music property that we've got. So I'm really keen that we link up the music part of our DNA with the emerging pioneers like talent that we're looking for. And I think there's ways we can do that even more in the future.
At the Virgin Media bus, social media manager Kelly and Cyril meet with Twitter king Chris Nye Brown for some advice on how to get the word out there.
Try and get the tone right so that when you're talking to them, you're not talking down to them, but it feels like you're having a chummy conversation rather than just putting out marketing messages, which I think, sure, you want to sell something, but it's about building up a relationship and a sense of trust.
A few of the final 10 also managed to get face-to-face with some of the stars of the festival to ask them for some career-inspiring advice.
I think if you're relaxed, I think if people can see that you're enjoying being there and you enjoy the songs you're singing, that's probably the first thing on my mind. Because if you look tense or nervous, or that you don't actually enjoy what you're kind of giving to the people, then there's no point in them coming or you being there.
Definitely be focused, don't be drawn out, because it's easier to do negative than it is to do positive.
Anyone that's going to be successful, anyone that's going to go on and do well in this industry or in any job, you have to believe in your own ability and your own talent.
And in the name of glamorous self-promotion, some of the final 10 head out to the public to spread the word.
Right, let's grab.
If I was to say to you, impatience is a virtue, what will come to your mind?
Impatience is a virtue!
When I think about impatience as a virtue, it seems like a driving force to get people to do something. For patience as a virtue, sometimes people can be a bit laid back about it. And when you're impatient, you make things happen.
After a busy weekend, the final 10's time at V has come to an end. September the 7th is rapidly approaching for the Pioneers, and the pressure is really on. Find out what happens next time on The Project.